also if you feel that vernacular is the key and Middle India is where you want to reach, Taboola can help you reach, because we have again massive collaboration and integration with all the vernacular partners as well. Okay, so now I introduced my colleague. She's not there, but I would like her to come and dive deeply into the native experience and also unlock the Taboola potential for you guys.
Thank you so much, Nitya. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? I'm using the mic just for some diversity with the mic usage. I'm Apurva. I'm a senior advertising account manager at Taboola. I've joined previously from Twitter, and I am the one who will be working closely for you folks with Real Latte to energize your campaigns on the platform. So I do know that Nitya has called me a tech expert and has put like a lot of responsibility on my shoulders to give a lot of gyan, but I'll try to keep it simple. And before I do that, I have to do a quick check in the room and understand if you were listening to what Nitya had to say about the DAO that we have, the daily active user that we see on a daily basis through Taboola. So if you could please tell me, what is the daily active user that we are seeing on Taboola for our platform? You have 4 options. I'm going to ask you I'll ask someone, and please, Real Latte folks, Siddharth, if you can help us with a gift. Is the number 110 million DAO? Is the number 120 million DAO? Is it 50 million DAO? Or is it 500 million? Yes, sir.
110.
Correct, that is very much correct. So we have a DAO which is not a monthly one, a daily active user base of 110 million through Taboola. This means that your campaign on a daily basis is touching across all those folks that are coming on the platform. Now I will just try to see if I have the prowess of using this clicker. Okay, great. So what is native experience when we see what it's all about? When I leave this stage, I just want to leave you with some food for thought as to where can your campaign success come from and where can it scale. And how can native advertising be the third pillar along with search and social for you to maximize the impact of your campaign or for real estate in India, particularly West and South through Taboola. So when we say native, the Taboola advantage for native is 5-fold. First of all, we talk about data. Data is key for us. Data is the vast reservoir for us. After our friends at Google, we are the only folks who have the first party data in place. And why is this? This is because, as Nitya must have spoken about this already, we have our pixel that is hard-coded into our 500 content partners across India. This is across news, this is across lifestyle, this is across real estate, this is across tech. Interestingly, we have 100% coverage with our content partners, our publisher partners. So this ensures that your first party data is in place. We know what your audience is reading and we know what is the next purchase they are going to make through it. Now talking about unique data and insights, since I talked about the hard-coded pixel, because of which we also have a very good understanding of what your audience is reading. So when it comes to your campaigns, we are able to take your audience persona and ensure that that audience persona is converted into custom segments through which we can ensure that there is a very focused topic targeting that can come into place. So if you tell me that, okay, I have a 5 CR property which is in, say, somewhere in Mumbai, and we just want to ensure that it is targeted in these 5-6 pin codes. We will ensure that that persona is created for you. We will also ensure that we use the intelligence from our pixel and ensure that we have those custom segments created for HNIs as well as the 8 segments that can be incorporated into it. So the fourth point I would like to talk about from there, that although we have our first party data, we also have our third party data in place where we have our partners, the likes of say an IOTA, Oracle, where we are getting all the data from our walled gardens. What are walled gardens? They are basically our social media partners. and they have their data stored with them already. So not just content partners are the ones we are getting you the audience from, but we are also taking that idea of the whole audience space from our third-party data providers as well. Now, the third point, which is world-class AI. Well, in the last 1 year, we've heard a lot about AI taking up. Every tech giant has gone gung-ho with how the AI capabilities are. Well, Taboola as well has been doing it from the beginning. We are essentially an ad tech company which is working with machine learning already through the likes of Yahoo, Amazon, Xandr, DV360 or The Trade Desk. Alrighty, so I'll just take you through. Okay, great. So when we say native, we talk about engaging, we talk about a seamless experience, we talk about a non-intrusive experience. So we had these two cases that we did recently, and we wanted to figure out how is the eyeball tracking that is working on, say, a seamless content partnership with a content partner for us. How is it working out vis-a-vis, say, a feed? We are not holding any competition over here. We're just talking about the user intent. So when we say that content partners with our publisher partners, our audience has a very higher user intent, it means that the audience is reading what they want to read. So whenever an ad is also displaying next to it, the bannerless idea goes along with it. The user is also going through the ad in terms of understanding that, okay, it's a seamless experience that is running. So this ad does not come as an intrusive ad for me, but more so like a seamless user scroll that is happening. So in that way, we threw a couple of questions on the audience, and what we could figure out was from our study that there was a 23% more emotional response when compared to the brand message on Taboola to Facebook or a YouTube. Similarly, when it comes to attention as well, since we're talking about a highly engaged user who is reading the content on the page, there was also an attention of 25% upwards as compared to our other partners. Okay then, tech expert, can you help me with this? All right, thank you so much. Okay, so this is the second study that I was talking about. We also tried to see how Taboola can actually energize your marketing mix with respect to, say, adding. So see, like I said, there are three pillars to it, right? There's search, there's social, and how can Taboola ensure that there is that added benefit and that incremental reach that can come by adding Taboola to your marketing mix. So there was a similar study that we did for top of mind brand awareness. So if you look at the graph over here, we can see. Okay, it's not working, but I'll go ahead with it. So if you see, can you take it? Thank you so much. So if you see the second bar over here with Taboola, it is giving you a 33-pointer top of mind brand awareness with social added to Taboola, or like with Taboola being added to social, it gives you a 39-point top of mind brand awareness, which gives a lift of 26% to it. So that is what we are saying, that you should be adding it to your social, to your marketing mix as well. When it comes to, say, a video platform as well, if you are using a video platform, you are seeing a 34-pointer top of mind brand awareness, but with Taboola added, you are able to increase it to 49. And I'm looking at a video platform campaign, there's a 38% incremental reach of brand awareness. So this is something that we're talking about, that you should be including it in your marketing mix. It's a very cost-effective way to bring an incremental reach and increase the impact for your campaigns that are already running successfully through search and social. Okay, and this is a highlight of where the user is, at what time the user is engaging through the day. Open web is always on. There is someone or the other reading on the platform all the time. So this is not like just one aptv.com or a timesofIndia.com that I'm talking about. I'm also talking about an e-news. I'm also talking about, say, a daily Bhanti. I'm also talking about a Lokmat. I'm also talking about different content partners that are being utilized around the clock by folks who are reading it from across the globe. And this is the pan-India reach for us. So if you look at your west and south, we have the reach of the audience user base has a reach of 45%. With us, if you look at our national publisher readership in Tier 1 cities and Tier 2 cities, it is a very good heady mix of 67% to 33%, and vernacular publishers, which we very much use for real estate in Pune and in Mumbai. When it comes to Marathi campaigns, let's say a Hindi campaign or a vernacular campaign, the readership stands at a 38% in our Tier 1 city and as a 62% in a Tier 2 city. So this is our breakdown of the audience demographic. We stand at 80% for male and 20% for female. Well, the interesting part over here is that 20% female in a daily active user base of 110 million is something that is a very large number, so that is always there in place. And also if you look at the age group, these are the people who are looking at these are the audience which you are reaching out to. Alright, this is for real estate. Talking about the India Leadership Insights, what is your real estate audience reading on our different content partners? And this is across India. This is our 500 content partners across India throughout all languages. So there is a 28% interest in science and tech, there is a 20% interest in news and politics, 18% in entertainment, 18% business is finance, and sports and business 16%. How do we utilize this data? Very interestingly, when I am creating say my media plans or my with real target for you folks, what we ensure is that say there is IPL that is coming forward right now, right? So we will ensure that all the sports and fitness enthusiasts are targeted for it. And also the folks who are reading about IPL, World Cup, which will happen later already, we are targeting those folks already. So this will ensure, like I said, the custom segments that we create, those custom segments are targeted through your first party and your third party data. So this is how it just ensures that even that moment marketing piece that comes into place, we are making sure that these different cohorts are targeted over there from it. And also this is overlapping. So it does not mean that 28% is mutually exclusive, it's an exhaustive list that comes into place. And this is the user interest and intent-based targeting that we see for real estate campaigns on our platform. For consumer electronics, if we have to just look at, say, a person is buying upwards of 1 lakh kitchen appliances, we target them. And this is the data that we have already with our first party and third party data. Or say a person who has a Netflix premium subscription. Those folks also we can target through this. So this is just different ways of targeting your HNI audiences and how we can create those very interesting flavors and layers of targeting. This is where all these user intent targeting comes into place for us. Now unlocking the Taboola potential through how you can unlock the Taboola potential for your campaigns. Very interestingly, for real estate, we always ask you to do a full funnel platform. It is across the funnel for branding engagement, for awareness, engagement, conversion, and loyalty. With, say, my real estate clients, how we start off is for 3 weeks we run an awareness campaign with a branding video. Branding video, I do understand, it is a very different ballgame altogether. So we look at a 6-second video, or say if you can give me a GIF of sauce that I can convert into a video and play as a branding content. There's also native displays with engagement and conversion that comes into place over here, which is consideration. Consideration is very much important to maximize the reach of your campaign. It is very essential that the longest period of consideration that we have, the better your campaign is going to perform. And when it comes to say CPL and CPQL as well, is what comes under consideration phase. And then conversion. Well, this is very essential. Motion ads is something that we are looking at. We also ensure that the clickability factor and also the engaging factor goes up with the motion ads in place. And then there is loyalty and retargeting that we also ensure that your campaign sees with us. Okay, so these are just different forms of our inventory for you. There's the branding video, which is sold at a CPCD and a CPM. There's sponsored content as well, and there are motion ads that I've spoken about already. So I will just quickly skim through and not for you. Cool, so this is one of the very interesting services that we have as Creative Shop. What happens is that if you look at a longer campaign with us, say for your different properties that come in, say in Jan there's one property, Feb there's one property, and there's say in March there's one property, we can create a custom plan with the Creative shop services for you, just to ensure all the added benefits that the Bula has for a threshold, like a revenue threshold. We can offer that to you. So we have a lot of real estate clients that are running that with us already. So I would also urge everyone and the folks at Real Latte and you to utilize the thing. So there is Stock Media. We have a partnership with Getty Images. So all the creative hassles that you have are treated over there. There's also Motion Ad Studio. You just have to give me some 5-6 creatives. I'll convert it into a GIF and ensure that it's a very interesting GIF that can turn into an engaging content for your ad. And there's also Taboola Generative AI for ads. Gave us a very good set of creatives and also 6-second videos that we use and ensured that the Asian eye audience were targeted. So when it comes to the results, there was a 30% increase in our quality leads, 4x decrease in our CPL, and also a 30% increase in our CTR. Well, it has to be if you're using Motion ads. Good. Another one, the Prestige Group. Very interestingly, we use a full funnel approach over here. We did branding, consideration, and also ensure that there was a performance angle into it. And we were able to see some 19 million impressions over the course of 1 month with Prestige, and also ensure that there's 100% viewability for the 6-second video. This is something, so we are working with completed view. So that is why we are talking about 100% viewability as well. And then there is performance. So we were able to generate some 8,000 leads through their video and sponsored content over a period of 1 month. Cool. So Taboola is one-stop shop for you. We have creativity through our creative shop. We have massive scale. We've talked about 110 million DAO, and I want to leave you with this. Also technology with Gen AI and our first-party data, and it is brand safe. We have very good partnerships with Double Verify and IS in place to ensure that your content is visible at the right place, in the right time, and also it's completely brand safe. So that will be all from us. Thank you so much.
Okay, lovely presentation by these ladies. I want you all to clap once again. And before I jump on to the next segment, here is my mom. I was gathered around by the media moment. We have our very prestigious set of media people here whose cameras have gone down for some reason. Now moving on to the next segment, it's going to be the panel discussion. So the topic for this, the first panel is strategizing to monetizing, exploring ROI-centric approaches to real estate marketing. I would quickly, without cracking any jokes, without asking any questions, jump to this. We have Mr. Harish Rao, Director, Nyati Developers. We have Gunjan Goel, Director, Goel Ganga Developers. We have Amit Paranjpe, Head Business Development of Paranjpe Schemes, Akash Farande, Managing Director, Farande Spaces, and the moderator of this panel is going to be Mr. Prasad Sangameshwara. I'm really sorry about that. Editor, Brand Equity. Give me a huge round of applause to welcome all of these guys on the stage. We're going to pretend nothing's happening. I'm sorry.
चालू कर देत जातं गप्पा होय
Hello everybody. I hope I'm audible. Yes, I can hear myself, so that's good. We are in I should say, kind of times which sometimes freak you out. I was sitting here listening to a session by Taboola, and on my WhatsApp, there was a pitch saying that we want to interview the global founder CEO of Taboola. And there was actually zero digital intervention here because the person never knew that I was sitting in this event. But there was a very interesting mix of digital meeting offline, okay? And these kind of things sometimes leave you pleasantly surprised. Also, they are memorable. So, you know, on a day when we are discussing digital marketing and how it improves ROI, it's also important to ensure that how we can fuse digital with our offline activities. And when we talk about brand building, there can't be a better set of people because they've already done half the job, which is building. So I'm sure they are also doing the other half, which is brand. But to know more, let me just start off quickly with questions. I know we are running behind schedule and I'm the timekeeper, being told that we have to stick to 25 minutes, not 30. So let me just quickly start with the questions. My first question would be to Gunjan Goyal. So basically, it's a warm-up question, but a very important one nevertheless. How crucial is brand building in the real estate industry? And importantly, how does it impact the success of marketing strategies in terms of ROI?
Thank you. That's a lot that I can talk about, but I will try to keep it short. So as everyone knows, brand building is probably the most important thing you can do for your brand. It definitely comes with a lot of advantages, but also with a lot of cost. And if you're in it for the long haul, you must know that everything that you're spending on brand building is definitely going to seek you ROI, but probably be realized over a longer period of time versus a direct project-related lead gen ad. Having said that, I would like to say that a powerful brand immediately portrays professionalism, stability, and reliability. So it's definitely something that each of you here must work on for your respective brands. Drawing from personal experience of our 40-year-old company, that's Goyal Ganga Developments, I think we were very fortunate that our founders managed to crack a very interesting and brilliant, I would say, branding exercise of adding the prefix Ganga to each of our project names, which to this date, that every project called Ganga XYZ in the city is immediately recognized as a Goyal Ganga project. So this instantly differentiates us and gives us the edge to be recognized better over the competition in the market. I would say this also helps create a better recall value. It adds more trust and reliability in the customer's mind, which gives us, I guess, a better ROI on our marketing spends. And just some food for thought that what are we doing here today? What is Real Arte doing here today? They're spending on their brand to make sure that they're getting a better recall value in each of your minds. So then when down the road, if you're not already using them as your marketing partner, I'm sure you're going to trust them to do that.
Thanks for that elaborate answer. I would also like to pass it on to Harish.
Well, I have a very similar take as to what Gunjan mentioned. Please, all of you understand that we consume real estate every day. And unlike any other needs of ours, real estate is an emotional appeal and a connect. So, brand investment in your company is the best investment. And to the stakeholders here, whoever is in the decision-making chair, please understand that brand investment is not an expense. It's an investment in your brand. And at every stage life cycle of the brand, if you're new, you need to amplify. You need to be loud to be heard. In case if you are already 2-3 decades in the business, you need to resonate that you've been here for so many years, performed all the functions properly, and hence it's a brand recall. So the investment in the brand equity is 100% required for the top of the mind recall. That's my take on it.
Amazing, and I'm sure a lot of people in this rather performance-obsessed world are very relieved to hear this.
We consume content every day as well.
So thank you for those remarks. Can I move on to the next question, which I will try and direct towards Akash. What are the specific challenges and opportunities that come with marketing real estate?
To be frank, a lot of
Okay, and this is also a little more specific to the NRI cohort.
one of the major challenges is the distance. But
Are you able to hear him clearly?
Can you hear me? Yeah. So to highlight regarding the NRI market, every developer in Pune or across India is trying to get a piece of the NRI audience. One of the major difficulties which I see is the cultural understanding or targeted efforts taken towards creating an ad experience to an NRI or having able to connect emotional quotient to the particular ad which we are trying to view. But with the digital technology advancement, it is easy for an advertiser to explain in terms of what kind of ad or product you exactly want to do. The challenge would be reach out a specific audience. The budget can be a constraint for a smaller developer or a larger developer itself. The audience is so huge, so it becomes difficult for a person to advertise across the globe. But with your own targeted efforts, you can specifically geo-target some, maybe Saudi, America, and basically the IT industry, which Pune is related to. A lot of expats travel within the Saudi and America and Australia. So I believe that NRI audience needs to have a specific marketing way with emotional attachment to the home ground, and yet the security in terms of how my parents or my child, or if I return back to India, how they will live. So if we are able to show it through a 6-second ad or through tabula, the way they said it, so I believe that these few threats and opportunities can work on that.
Perfect. Anybody wants to add to it?
I think for us, NRI market is sort of an outlier, right? With the amount of migration that's happening in Pune, which is domestic migration. One of the challenges of NRI market, like Akash said, is the reach and time for it to get that conversion, because he's probably going to come 6 months later. But building your brand here, because the first question the NRI audience is going to ask is to his local counterpart, that who's the good developer today and where can I invest in that property, right? So I think that particular branding exercise within this local community is very important. I think that even happened when some of the IT markets moved to Pune, especially in Hinjawadi and Kharadi, where anyone who's not from Pune, the first question he's going to ask is his colleague, kiske saath ghar khareed. So I think connect needs to happen here, then that eventually sale will come through from the NRI market. So that's my take on NRI.
Circles back to the brand building exercise as well.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible to get one more mic on stage? So that we don't play this passing the person. Thank you. Okay, in the context of real estate marketing, okay, channel partners happen to play a very crucial role these days. However, they are also adding to the clutter because each one is sending out messages. So, how do you as senior people from the industry deal with this kind of situation? The question is an open question, anybody?
Well, I like to take this on, particularly being in this business for 24 years. We realized one thing, that a channel partner was an individual before, he grew into an organization, today is an institution. And this entire business of channel partnership and brand association has gone to another level altogether. Earlier we thought that we had the money to spend, but even they have today got the money to actually reach out to the right audience. So I think they're an integral part of our ecosystem, and I'm sure all of us kind of connect with that fact that almost 40 to 60% of the business today has been driven by channel partners, and there is no shying away from that.
I think for us, we are all legacy brands here in a way, right? So between, I think 3 of us here, we are competing within 1 kilometer right now in an area like Babdan. So for us, actually, we are not selling to the customer. We are selling our product to our channel partners. Ki customer ko yahan pe leke aao. So I feel that selling to that customer has changed your selling to the channel partner today, and that is a big shift in certain micro markets.
Yeah, I'll put some highlight regarding the recent reforms that government is trying to implement. As we know that US has a different seller, the manufacturer is a different, and the realtor is a different. So India is also going through the same change, as Mahanera has introduced an examination format to the realtors and the channel partners or IPCs, the validity of selling and the genuine product, as the market or the developers are also going to get graded. So as usually we are talking that CPs are also going to be graded, and you can trust the CPs, as rightly Hari said, that 75 to 60% of our work is done through channel.
Absolutely, and there's no denying that. And although having said all of that, that definitely, like you asked, puts you in a competitive space with the same channel partner selling the same product. But I guess at the end of the day, all visibility is good visibility. So if they are, advertising for you, increasing your CPL, at the end of the day, the conversion at your site balances out that cost.
Seems to be a very polite panel in agreement with each other, even though they battle for that same piece of land in Bhavdan. Okay, but if I can try and provoke you all a bit, okay, our channel partners leading to the clutter is this brick and mortar game which is embracing digital in a way, in a large way, increasing the cost of leads as a result of the clutter.
Yeah, of course, there is a certain segment of channel partners who over the last few years just dominated the online space to a point where we noticed that unabashedly they were using our names to sell the product and, pretty much posing as the company themselves or a representative of the company. But fortunately, I think in the recent few months, Google has intervened and it's made it more systematic, where every channel partner advertising for your product today needs a certified RERA certificate and a letter of certification from the promoter to advertise. I think that definitely helps.
Yeah, I think to add to what Gunjan mentioned, that the business is very competitive and we do get a lot of lead cannibalization which happens because the same medium has been used by the channel partners as well. So I think nowadays when any developer is launching a new site, he will not think about the microsite, he will first think about the domain names he has to safeguard. And that is where the whole trick happens. And if you do clean business, I think they're a wonderful community to do business with. I mean, as long as everybody sticks to the ethical lines. But yes, I mean, they are as competitive as we are.
Perfect. Anybody else to add to it? Feel free.
From a channel partner perspective, for us as a brand, normally when a lead comes through from a channel partner, the lead will come back again and say that I want to deal with you directly. I have no interest in the channel partner because I know the brand, right? And my dilemma is always there that is my customer first or am I servicing the channel partner? So I think sometimes this clutter is there and we can't deny that. But they are there to do business, right? And we are there to do business. So at some point, the only common ground is that we are there to do business and how we can do business together and what is the importance of that. So we are trying, we are not there yet, but at some point we feel that we will reach a harmonious solution between us and the channel partners.
Yeah, I'm going to go slightly off topic in true journalism sense. You made a very valid point about the cost of leads and stuff. but eventually it has to be the acquisition, right? And not just the lead. So are we kind of being too obsessed with the cost per leads when cost of acquisition of the customer, the CAC as they say, has to be paramount?
Yes, I mean, as majority decision makers in key positions across the organization must be sitting here. There is constantly a pressure to deliver on the cost per lead, and for that matter, sometimes I would think we need to rephrase and ask all ourselves that question: do we need to talk about cost per lead, or do we need to talk about cost per qualified lead? Because there's a lot of dumb data which happens in the system, and it is not right for the organization or the person who's in the chair to take that decision of dumping data. So I think there are many more ways to look at cost per qualified lead in a different way. One can, calculate the lead cost on the walk-in as well as on the bookings. There are many ways. But personally, I'm little having a two opinion about cost per lead kind of a consensus.
Okay, what are those two opinions? Do you want to spill the beans?
No, that's a very longish kind of a discussion, and I guess to honor everybody, to value everybody's time, we'll definitely keep it personal.
Perfect. There are lots of aces up his sleeve. I think you should connect with them offline. You want to add to it?
So cost per lead can be a pain at the start or maybe the launch of the project. But during a sustenance campaign, I believe that if it is more personalized experience and if it is a omni-channel, that the treatment of the targeted audience is the same through the start of the journey till the end, the time he books the apartment, the qualified lead cost can be cut. And I have been, in our recent campaigns for few of our projects, we have been able to achieve it less than 1,000 rupees.
Perfect. Okay, I'm rushing to the next question in the interest of time. How can, this also goes to a point which I started off with, how can you leverage traditional marketing methods and integrate them effectively with the digital approach?
From a traditional marketing perspective, I think people are interested again in brand values, what we stand for as a brand, because you are consuming the product anyway on the digital space every time you open your phone, right? So what is that brand has to say, and whether whatever it is saying translates to the same experience when the customer actually visits. So we normally use the traditional mediums but again, it's very different. Like if I'm using print medium, my thought process is different. If I'm using radio, then the moment someone hears a real estate ad, they're going to switch to the next station. So what's my hope for them to stay for 5 seconds longer? So I think for every medium, there is a different way of looking at it. But generally, traditional mediums are more for brand building, the way we look at it.
I do agree with Amit that traditional marketing is...
We want some contradictory opinions here.
Yes,
we need some.
I'm surely... Well, I may not contradict completely, but every organization in its life cycle has a very different approach towards traditional and the new age marketing as we speak. And like Amit mentioned that we've already been more than 2-3 decades in the business. So we've seen all life cycles of the business going through. Traditional marketing is, in my opinion, personally, it's a push marketing, where I want you to hear the radio, I want you to see the print, I want the channel partners to come to my office, talk about it, and make an amazing experience center, work on my show unit, everything. The new age marketing is up to the user to decide when he wants to consume it. That's his inner voice. If I'm looking at a YouTube video about a product, I talk to myself. So when I look at a digital ad, I look and resonate with the thought the ad is behind it. So I think the mix of traditional and modern is the perfect mix today, which in my opinion is the need of the hour. None of them can alone sustain.
Perfect. And I wanted to kind of move on to the next question in the interest of time, if it's okay. Yeah, so both Akash and Gunjan can take this question. Can digital marketing effectively cater to high-end markets such as ultra-luxury properties, etc.? Because, does it cut through the clutter, essentially?
Yeah, so to be on a broader concept of high-end marketing or high-end product, there are simple 2-3 ways I believe. One is targeted marketing or target audience we can define. depending upon what they are wanting to consume. If a luxury product, a luxury brand, like Taboola said, or even Google in their presentation said, they will have follow-up markers in terms of a luxury consumption of that particular trait of your brand or a value. Second can be an influence in marketing. Nowadays, a lot of influencing people do if the brand and the influencing person. For example, I am trying to pitch, there is a cricket stadium at my particular vicinity. So I might target the cricket audience per se to get converted to that particular area. And third would be a personalized experience. Are we able to provide in such a vast media a personalized experience or a personalized touch? So that can help in terms of getting people on board.
Perfect. And Gunjan, before you say I agree with them, I want to actually add another layer to this. Okay, I want to ask you that, okay, when you actually target ultra luxury kind of customers, are there specific strategies that you actually tailor to make them feel obviously that I'm worth it?
Definitely. I mean, starting with the online experience, we do have into place a research that we conduct to really understand their psychographics, demographics, their age, income levels, lifestyle choices, locations where they're coming from, which corporates they belong to. And that's when we go into micro-targeting to sort of, give them that customized feel and approach that, this ad is not available to the mass. We create certain elements in the ad per se that would appeal to that particular market, and then we resonate that on ground. We make sure that the experience they get at the site from the minute they enter to the team that they're interacting with, to the whole presentation is met up to their standards, and here again it boils down to a perfect harmony of the digital and traditional sort of marketing approach that we take.
Perfect. And we have some of the most influential voices from the real estate industry in Pune on the dais. We also have a lot of influential voices from the world of digital marketing in the audience. I would like to actually ask each of you to make one wish that you have that could happen to improve your digital outreach. So if each one of you can outline.
Let the ladies start. Lady first.
Sorry.
One wish from your digital marketing outreach. So there's that one thing that you wish it could happen. What would it be?
Of course, get a better ROI, right? I mean, for me, it's cost per booking. That's what matters.
And so what's your expectation from the service providers in that case?
To help me get a better ROI, get more targeted marketing channels which reach my audience in a more organized way, and yeah.
So less spillover, more qualified leads, as he pointed out, right?
I'm less for the quantity, more for the quality always.
Brilliant.
If you can hide the cost per lead column in the presentation, that would be great. Because I'll tell you that eventually for us it's the walk-in, right? That's what matters. And my personal experience that we are a big brand in Pune, but we entered Mumbai in a big way this year. So if we were selling 15 apartments last year, we have to sell 500 apartments this year. And most of the key account managers are like 20, 25.
They are terrified when they see that cost per lead.
No, they are the ones who are pitching for it, right? And when you are in the business, you understand that, listen, I'm in a space where there is a Rustumji, there is a Iranandani, and everyone knows me as wo Pune wala developer, right? But I have my own audience, being a Maharashtrian, that people will have affinity to in a big way. So why don't I look at that as a brand awareness campaign? Possibly, chalo, baad mein dekh lenge. So that's my recent take and my pledge.
Awesome. Yes.
Well, Prasad, you wanted a little controversy, right? I'll give it to you. My only appeal to all the aggregators sitting in this room, we are, as promoters, we are already sold on the idea that digital is the new age necessity in real estate. My appeal to all holding the chair, do not give big data. Give us organic data which we can process. There's no need to sell it, we are already sold. The only thing we expect sitting on on side of our table is pure authentic data. We see a lot of percentages flying, 13%, 27%, 18%. People sitting on our chair believe that these are the true numbers. So my only appeal is that we have an unshakable trust. Please don't break it.
Awesome. Akash. Famous last words.
One wish a person should have, or a realistic, or rather personally I would have, that how we are able to experience luxury shopping online. I wish how should be booked at a click. So how should be booked at a click.
Okay, awesome. So, you want to repeat that on the mic? Okay, so thank you, lady and the gentlemen, for this lovely, quick T20 discussion. And I think we've been the record-setting people who've stuck to our time. So I think you should applaud for that.
Thank you so much, guys. You all were so lovely, and I have to thank our moderator. He's the only one who has actually heard me and completed in 27 minutes. God break it. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. We'll move on to the next segment. Before that, I would actually call upon Mr. Mayank Vora. I am sorry. Early morning for me, sorry. To please hand over the gifts for these lovely speakers.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your precious time. Just very, very valid thoughts. I would do an honest submission. All our reports have a cost per booking column, and we do mention ratios there. We know that you get it at 2% elsewhere, but yeah, I mean, we'll try to maintain that going ahead. Thank you so much again. Yes, and I'm not Mayank Agarwal. I'm not an influencer. I can only influence digital marketing.
Bye-bye.